It's on. It warmed up. It's ready.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Pinna. I'm the town of Poughkeepsie historian. I'd like to welcome everyone here. Just to give you a quick update on how this all came about, the town of Poughkeepsie Historic Preservation wanted to celebrate 250th anniversary of the American Revolution, so we decided to do a number of activities. Lecture series we have going on. We have a scavenger hunt that's going to be happening with the Recreation Department, but we decided we would do a poster contest for fourth graders, not an essay contest. We wanted the students to have fun. So that's why we did the poster contest, okay? And we had 9 schools that we went to. 5 of the 9 in the town participated. And so the top 3 winners we have are from those from within that 5-school circle. We are happy to have them here. We showed their posters at the community day the other day. The posters are out here. They will be out here for the remainder of the month, and then we will take them off and we will return them to the students. We had 42 entries from the 5 schools, so that was a pretty good return. Right. I want to thank town supervisor for supporting this, and the town council, and Sherrison was really instrumental in helping pull this together and taking care of nitty-gritty stuff, which I didn't have time to do. And we are now going to go forward. I'm going to ask that the winners of the 3 winners will meet me here, and I'll have them say hello to the council members, shake their hands, and then you're going to come over here and we're going to give you awards to you, okay? All right. Aria Papuli we need, Julie Key, and Jack Paganelli. Those are our 3 top winners. Aria is our number 1. Julia is our 2nd place winner, and Jack is our 3rd place winner. Okay, Aria, congratulations to you. Okay, just say hello and say hello here. Hi, congratulations. Jack, congratulations. We're really proud of them. They did a great job. All the 4th graders did a great job. Okay. Yes, we're going to do that. Okay. So Ann Sherrison is going to present the trophy to Aria, the 1st place winner. Okay. And Aria, we also have a gift certificate for you. That's a certificate, and this is a gift certificate for Barnes & Noble. Okay. And our supervisor has something for you.
I was going to give oh, you didn't already give this, sorry. A little bit. Yep. Okay, perfect. All right. We have a certificate of congratulations from the town to you as 1st prize winner. There you go. Congratulations.
Okay, 2nd place winner was Julia Key. She is our 2nd place winner right here. Julia, this is your certificate and your gift certificate. Congratulations.
Julia, congratulations. And here we have a recognition certificate of award from the town, right? Congratulations again.
And our 3rd place winner was Jack Paganelli. And Jack, we have gift certificate for you, a certificate of achievement. Okay, we have your trophy,
and we have a certificate to congratulate you and recognize your art. I just wanted to say, all 3 of you, that you're seeing a lot of signs up that say 250th American Revolution, but everyone who participated in this contest had a chance to really dig a little deeper and figure out what that means. And I just loved all of your entries. The art was beautiful and inspiring, a lot of great colors and a lot of great history. So congratulations on the research that you did and on the the wonderful art that you produced, and thank you for helping our town celebrate the 250th. I want to thank also John Penna, the town historian, and Shershin, who did so much to make this happen, and all of the members of the Historic Preservation Commission. And I hope you'll keep an eye out, because the scavenger hunt is coming, and then some more lectures and other events later in the year too. So congratulations again to you all.
And also, I'd like to say that all the students who participate did receive a certificate from us, thanking them for participating in the contest.
And just to let you know, we're really proud of our young people, and this is, if you give them an opportunity to show what they can do, you can see the kinds of things they produce. It's just giving them an opportunity to do it, and we were happy to do that. So we want to thank them, we want to thank all involved, and we want to thank the parents for helping to support it. Okay. All right, go up here, we're going to take a picture.
And John? You guys are front and center. Perfect. Shanta, if you go on the other side, it's 3 and 3. That's okay. Got it. Very nice. If any parents want to pop in, then I won't be in the way. That would be great.
And if the parents want to take pictures out there with the posters, feel free to do that, okay?
Oh, they put the winners in. That's nice. I put that on there. Okay, thank you again to the contestants and for their amazing art, and to the parents and everyone who supported them, grandparents who are here tonight, and also to the Historic Preservation Commission and John Penna. I would like to call to order this meeting of the Town of Poughkeepsie Town Board for May 6, 2026. We'll begin with the Pledge Allegiance. We are still at war. We are all hoping for peace, and I would like us to have just a moment of silence when we are done with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll have roll call.
Barbara Laird, representing 2nd Ward.
Shanta Tangaya, representing Ward 3.
Emily Watson, Ward 4.
And Shershin, Ward 6.
Felicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Emily Spencer, Attorney of the Town.
Rebecca Edwards, Town Supervisor. And I had 2 quick announcements. The first is that we are taking applications for anyone who might wish to serve as the Town Ward 1 board member. The deadline is May 15th to write to supervisor@townofpoughkeepsie-ny.gov. So any Ward 1 resident who might like, the board will be taking applications to see if we can make an appointment for the rest of the year. The other initial announcement is that we do not have a workshop meeting next Wednesday night. It's on the calendar, but we're able to fit everything into tonight's meeting and the one upcoming, so we will not have a workshop next Wednesday night. Okay, I think that the first thing we are doing is having 2 public hearings. And so those will each be opportunities for public comment. And then when those are over, we will open the floor for 3 minutes per person for comment on the remaining items on the agenda. So let's begin with the first public hearing.
Sure, I'll open that public hearing tonight. to look at the adoption of a local law amending Chapter 76, which is community events outdoor. So we want to look at that law. It is not a secra, but let's talk about community events outdoor.
Second. Oh, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the hearing is open then. If there's anyone here in person, or then we can talk to, ask for people online as well, who would like to comment on the proposed amendments to our outdoor community events, Chapter 76 of the Town Code. We are clarifying, I think, and simplifying a few of the regulations, and there was a red line here provided. Anyone in the room who wanted to speak on this? And seeing none, is there anybody online on Zoom who wanted to speak about these proposed changes? Okay, seeing none, then I move that we return to regular session.
Second, sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
you
Sorry,
say
that should have
second,
been
Emily?
closed, it should have
No.
been.
Barb?
I did.
Yeah.
So I should have said we were closing the public hearing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, we move to close the public hearing and then move on to a vote on this, okay? Barb, do you want to introduce the resolution?
Sure. As I said, we just opened the public meeting. The proposed local law is incorporated herein as if recited verbatim. The town does direct that said local law be spread across the record. It is not a type 2 action under secra, so it requires no further environmental review. And this notice of the public hearing was posted on April 24th and published in the Poughkeepsie Journal, April 29th. So if we vote a yes, the said local law will take effect immediately upon filing with the Secretary of State. So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ann Schurston seconds. Okay, I think this, there's no earth-shattering changes here, but we are clarifying some of the definitions about what is a community event, what isn't, who needs to get a permit, who doesn't need to get a permit, under what circumstances. I think this is gonna be super helpful because lack of clarity always leads to extra work and extra, vexation. So I think this is gonna be very helpful to people in understanding when they don't need a when they do or don't need a permit for an outdoor event.
Can I mention something about it quickly?
Sure.
We also took out the fact that the town clerk issues permits free of charge for charitable events. That was never in the prior chapter. It was always on the application for many years. And it said the town clerk may, so it made me feel like may not. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It was very odd. And I think too, because it mentions like a fee, and recently we took fees out of the code. And so if you want to make any changes to fees or this or that, you can do it by resolution. So if you decide that that's not working, or you want to specify something different in the future, you can change it by a resolution as regard to fees.
Great, so that goes into the user fees, so they can be changed more easily
Correct.
than
I mean,
having to change the code.
If you do decide to do something.
Right,
different.
exactly. Right, and yeah, we removed that discretion so that it's, either the clerk needs to do something or doesn't need to do something, but not sort of leaving you in limbo in terms of,
No.
having some
limbo.
discretion is, a little unclear, so. Okay, any other comments?
I just wanted to clarify, that was section 76-6D, or -6B? Is that what you're talking about?
That piece? Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just talking about that piece. yeah.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
Yep,
Thank you.
exactly, 7665B.
And then also there was a bit of mix-up as far as which ones were to be notified by me, just. Those are just the daily events, and the ones that are more days, they had, those ones do go to the town board. It was a little, so it's just
Right.
clarifying and cleaning.
Great.
So
Okay.
just for clarification, nonprofits have to pay the fee for any event.
That's correct.
Just want to make sure I
Yep.
understood.
And the rationale is that the fees are covering our costs, right? We're not,
For
this isn't an
operation.
effort by the town to, make a ton of money. It's that when we have to do fire inspections or we have to do tent inspections or things like that to make sure an event is safe, we have to spend on that. So we are trying throughout the user fees to bring those in line with what our costs are.
And they did change one that had in
Yeah,
regard to tents
the
and
tent
stuff.
inspection is much fairer now because it's just, I believe it's $100.
$100 for tents and $100 for electrical inspections.
Yeah.
And like, so Germania, last bunch of years, those fees alone were around $690.
Well, that was,
But the fees are not in here, right?
No,
We're not, right,
no,
but
no,
that-
no, but
right.
I'm just saying, you know, if you
no,
want to
but that
change it.
changes much fairer, because before the fee for the tent inspection was based on how many people you felt were gonna show up, so
so think-
it was prorated. But it's just a tent, so, you know, they come in and they look at the tent, and it really doesn't matter how many people are there, so now it's just a flat fee per tent.
Okay.
And what I mentioned before, if you found that that didn't work, you could always change it in the
Yes.
future by
Yeah.
a resolution.
Yes. Emily, did you have a question?
The application hasn't changed though, right?
Now, the application didn't have
The code.
no, the application for like almost 2 years didn't have the town clerk may or may not, that was in there for years. I took that out because we had been talking about doing that and it just didn't,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, but the physical process hasn't changed.
No.
Just the rules around it.
yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
Getting clarified.
got it.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. The resolution carries 6-0. No, wait. Five to zero. Sorry, I'm sorry, Ryan Sharp can't be here tonight either. Okay. All right. Then I think.
Second for that? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I second.
It was
Thank you.
Ann who seconded it.
Thank
Yep,
you.
Thank you. All right, so then we move on to the second public hearing, and this is about a nuisance at 2064 New Hackensack Road, under Chapter 114, 44. Do you want to introduce this one briefly? Just read the title or open the public hearing? I think, yes, we open the public hearing and then read the title.
I make a motion to make, open for a public hearing.
Second? All right, so a public hearing is now open relating to next steps regarding public nuisances at Rose Spa. Yes. All right, so the public, all those in favor of opening the public hearing? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so the public hearing is now open, all right?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm
How are you?
Mayor Fikori, attorney for Mr. Kumar, who's the owner and sole member of the LLC, SBJR Family LLC, that owns the property. So we're here today, I know it's on for public hearing, we just wanted to inform the board, legally what we did was we got the tenants who were there who got these violations, we got them through their attorneys to actually physically surrender the lease legally. So now they're officially out of there as of May 1st. So we have that signed document. He currently is going to rent it to a wellness spa. Just to let the board know, Mr. Kumar is very well respected property owner in Dutchess County. So, you know, this is, you know, very upsetting to him. You know, so he will do anything in his power legally through our office and through whatever he can through any breach of these leases to make sure that this doesn't happen under his watch. He's limited again because they signed these leases, but we did, you know, legally go after to get him out of this property, which took a little bit longer, but we do have the surrender finally signed by them and their attorney, so we did do that. You
And
know,
they are physically out of the space as of
Yes.
May 1st?
Yes, we actually have the surrender, I actually have the original copy, I have one original copy, I came here from a different court, so I didn't make a copy, but I have it, I can show it to the board, but it is signed. We do have a new lease signed by a whole new entity, all new people, and it's signed and notarized with, you know, the new people. He made it very clear to all tenants in this property. He's not gonna tolerate any of this, he has a very good reputation, so, you know, we just want to explain this to the board, it's not, you know, he's very limited, his hands are tied as the property owner, he would never conduct anything, or any tenants do this for him. I mean, he, you know, obviously owns the property, he wants to make his rental payment, but
Understood. Have you had a chance to talk to the building inspector, Bruce Flower, since
have
May
not.
1st?
no.
Okay,
We
so
have
I know he was working to be in touch and so that we could coordinate. I think that what we want to do is make sure that he's able to certify and that the town departments that need to certify that everything is, you know, is gone forward. What I would suggest is that we make it possible for the town to take further action, but not take such action until we've referred it to town police and to town building inspector. Chief Cavalier, did you want to speak? Yes. But thank you for the information. I appreciate your efforts to make sure to shut this down, so thank you. Let's let a few other people speak and then we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Of course.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Kumar.
Thank you.
I'm familiar with Mr. Before, I appreciate the businesses that he does run in the town, and he's good. But unfortunately, these spas are a problem nationwide, and I don't want them continuing to come into the town. I keyed up when they started talking about another wellness spa. It's another code word. I really, the law was created for specific to discourage this, to board these businesses up. And I agree that, I understand he has to make a livelihood and rent these places out, but we really need to send a message to board these businesses up until we can actually make sure that there's gonna be a tenant that's gonna go in there that's gonna fit with the town.
Okay.
I'm just nervous with this other leasing that's gonna be. So I
Understood.
I recommend that you do take action tonight to have the business board up. We can always have it taken down.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone else here in the room who wanted to speak? Is there anyone online joining us from Zoom who would like to speak? Okay, if there's no one else who wants to speak in the public hearing, I move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so the hearing is closed by a vote of 5-0. And then, so now we move on, Shanta, if you want to
Sure.
name the resolution.
Okay. Resolution 2, public hearing related to the next step regarding public nuisance at Rose Spa, 2064 New Hackensack Road. So moved.
Second.
Second. Okay. Town attorney?
Yeah.
Do you want to jump in?
If you don't mind.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to remind the board of the standards in the law. So once there are 2 arrests, then we move into this process. And there are a couple different actions the town can take, including bringing a lawsuit or boarding up the building. Boarding up is if you make a finding that, let me just get the wording, that there's an immediate and substantial threat, then you can take the action of boarding up the building. So that, if you want to discuss more what the options are or what that might mean, we could do that in an attorney-client session. Some things you could do, you could take an action tonight, you could table this and see if we get the information we need. There are a number of avenues you could take.
Right. Would we be able, through what we've posted tonight, to make it possible to board up the building if we need to do so, but to direct the building inspector to determine that the building is empty, and to engage in conversation about making sure that it is empty until we are, has shared the chief's concern about immediately having another spa come in there. We would be better off if we either left it empty for a while or we had a different kind of business come in here, unless we are able to be really clear about who the owner is of this new wellness spa. The spas are a problem, right? This is the code word that people are using everywhere all over the country, and many landlords have had this problem, so it's, this is how this has come about. So, I mean, I'm not sure I want to rush to board up the building, but I would like to, ensure that it's empty and ensure that no further activity takes place, and that might mean having the building inspector and my office work to make sure that, with the police, that we're comfortable that the building is safe and that no further activities will go on there. I'm not sure if the building is in fact empty and no activity is going on, it would make sense maybe to see where we are. Is that doable, or do we have to actually, through what we pre-advertised, order that the building be boarded up?
Supervisor Ezra, may I clarify one thing? When we say building, there's multiple businesses there. We're talking about this specific?
We're talking about this specific, not the other tenants, only this one space. So,
I think we should just take a brief recess and talk about that in an attorney-client session, if you.
I think that would be super helpful then. All right, pardon us for a little while. We are going to move into executive session to discuss matters that have to do with attorney-client privilege. We will not take any measures that would involve expenditure of funds, and we will be back shortly. Thanks. All right, thanks for your patience, everyone. Okay, other board members and town attorney can help me work this out, but this is what, I think
Let's return from
we need to,
attorney-client
right.
session.
So first of all, I move that we return from executive session.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so we return from regular session at vote of 5-0. And now we have this resolution before us. The public hearing is closed.
So we have to move in we did move in second. the
So I believe we
resolution
moved
already.
and seconded the resolution already. Yep.
Yes, you did.
So I think that the intention of the board is to go ahead and vote for enforcement. We will direct the building inspector to board up the building. He may, if he sees no immediate or substantial threat to the safety and well-being of the occupants of the building and the neighborhood, suspend that decision
In consultation with.
in consultation with the town police. So he can, if in fact the building is empty, choose to suspend the decision to board the building up. But the town board will retain jurisdiction for that year, that in which we have the authorization to board the building up for a year if we need to. And instead of that, if we find that there's not an immediate and substantial threat, then the board will retain the option to board up if necessary at some point in the future. Do we need to add that language to the resolution itself? Okay.
Supervisor Edwards, may I
yes.
just, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut it. I just want to make sure
This
it's,
is not the hearing anymore.
I understand, I'm just,
You can provide a brief clarification.
yes. The nuisance has been abated. We know that, right?
The
tenant is
the
out.
town board needs to assert to assess that and make sure that it's the case, and we need our town police department and our building inspector could confirm that. But I appreciate you bringing us that information.
So you're gonna board up a business that's no longer there?
We are asking the building inspector to ascertain whether he still believes there is an immediate threat.
And we have a legal document showing a surrender of a lease and they
Sir,
left.
sir,
We need
this
to
is-
see all
All right,
those.
I just want it on the record.
This
no
is the
problem.
first time we've heard about this, so it's our due diligence to check. And as Supervisor Edwards says, the building supervisor is under his discretion whether he's going to board it up or not.
That's fine. I just want to make sure council is aware that the nuisance is abated and they're no longer there, so it's a taking and we are on the record. So that's fine, no problem.
We hear that from you, but yet we don't have any proof of that. Nothing's been provided to
Sure.
us.
No
Well,
problem.
that could have been handed to us before the meeting. So
Right.
we have to take action now.
We have sent several messages before. We have sent letters in the past. So we will direct the building inspector to determine what the situation is, but we are going to retain jurisdiction. We are concerned that another spa coming into the space could continue some of the same problems. That's a cost, not only a nuisance to the town, but also a cost to the town to continue enforcement. So we want to make sure that the building inspector, in consultation with the town police, is comfortable that things are safe. Right? Do you have specific language other than that we should add to the
Sure.
resolution?
I suggest that you make a motion to amend the resolution to say that, let me just get the resolution out. Okay, at the end, we can say it's further resolved that the building inspector is authorized to suspend boarding up the building if, in consultation with the police, he finds that there is not an immediate threat at this time, and that the town board retains jurisdiction to proceed with the boarding up process if needed within the coming year.
Within the next 1 year period, yes. All right, I propose that amendment, I propose to amend the resolution with that language.
Second,
Okay, any discussion?
I just want to make sure that it's 12 months, because in here it says 3 months. So just make sure that that amendment, instead of, I don't know, calendar year or to the end of the year, but 12 months.
Second to the last paragraph.
Thank you. That must have been,
It says it twice, actually. There's two
Okay.
paragraphs where it says 3
Correct.
months.
the law
You're right,
does
amend
authorize
that
a
to
year. I
12
think this was the last, we must have copied from the last time we did this, but.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
the law does authorize a year.
So in this case, we said up to 3 months, and we want to say up to 12 months in the final, be it further, in the second to the last.
Yes.
Further, be it further resolved, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Of the amendments
Of
now,
the
right?
amendment, yes.
Right? Any opposed? All right, then the amendments carry. Is there any further discussion on the resolution as a whole? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the resolution carries 5-0. I believe the building inspector has written a couple of times, and so you can look at what he has sent, and we will direct him to be in conversation with you as well as the town police and ensure that we have the nuisance abated, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thank you again for being here.
Should we move on
Okay.
to resolution number 3?
It is actually, and is this also a public hearing? This is our third public hearing?
No, we closed that hearing already.
Okay, we closed the public hearing, so now it says public hearing at the top, but it's not.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
actually a resolution, okay?
So I would read it as resolution number 3.
Do you open the floor to public comment for 3 minutes?
Oh, that's right, because this is not a public hearing, we've got to open the floor. Okay, sorry, I had the words public hearing in front of me and I was totally thrown off. Okay.
It's all good.
I move that we open the floor, suspend the rules so that we can open the floor for up to 3 minutes of comment from anyone who would like to speak
On any topic.
on any item that's on tonight's agenda.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so then the floor is open for anybody who wants to speak on any item tonight's agenda. Steve, welcome. We'll do folks who are in the room first, and then we'll move to Zoom.
Good evening, Steve Osterly's Third Ward. Couple things. One on the setting the public hearing for the town code amendment on the affordable workforce housing. Just as I said at the workshop, my concern is this is going to actually have the opposite effect and discourage development here. They talk about incentives in the resolution. Instead of, if it's mandatory, it's not an incentive. So I think if you want to try the incentives, offering the additional number of houses, the additional story of buildings and that to go to first to see if you promote, I think that'd be much wiser than saying, no, you're doing this and developers go elsewhere in the adjacent towns. On the, actually 2 special consent items, the resolution to declare the lead agency in there for here over Rocker Road. It still has that there's 268 parking spots, which in the previous study from Lobella, twice in the study, it says it's not possible without cost prohibitive measures to level the site in 2 places. On the presentation that they did, it was in 3 different spots. I know you said people were counting cars at the other one. I kind of question how valid it is to just count cars when you paid engineering firm to do that study and determine what's there, how you can just change it. Has that been resolved? And I know you can't answer me, this is the thing.
We'll make a note for later. Yep.
And the other thing is the agreement with Lobella for the change order. I mean, here we are just at the start of this project and there's already a change order for additional money. It really concerns me that this has not been fully planned out and looked at the true costs, and it's gonna be these small little increases. Well, we started down this road, we're gonna, 16,000, which isn't small to me, in the project it's small, but how many more of these are gonna come and really inflate the cost of this project? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. No one else in the room wanted to speak, so we'll move to online. Doreen, welcome.
Thank you. I have a comment about number 5 about the affordable and workforce housing. And I've been talking about this for several months or at least for a year. There's a lot of development that's going on in the town, and we keep hearing people talk about discouraging development. And I would urge all the board members, if you haven't already, to be looking at the monthly construction and inspection reports. The one for April was like 11 pages. Granted, it's not all new development, but some of it is. And I don't think we have a problem with development as far as, lack of interest in developing in the town, so. And then my question about, or comment about SC2, for the subcontracting with Rodriguez Construction Group for the 16,000 for the schematic pre-construction costs. So in the Labella proposal from November, there was a cost in there for pre-construction cost estimating with Rodriguez for $45,320. So is this something that's going to be on top of that? Is this just the 16,000 part of the, 45,000 that was estimated? If you can share any information on that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure, I think I can give a quick answer to both your question and Steve's, and then we can have longer later, but it's not a change order, it's an updated cost estimate, because at the time we did the original cost estimate, we were at the feasibility stage, and now we have we were near the end of schematic design. We're at a point where we have much clearer idea what the costs are, what the project looks like, and so we would ordinarily pay a lot more, but by doing having Rodriguez build on their earlier work and revise their costs, we don't want to pass a bond resolution and go forward without being clear on what the costs are. And the earlier feasibility estimate is not enough. So this is not part of that original payment. It's a new cost estimate. So we could have further conversation, but that's just to try to give the background on that. Anything else, Doreen? I think.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else online who wanted to speak? Okay, seeing none, then I move that we return to regular session.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that motion passes 5-0. And so now we are at resolution number 3.
Number 3, to amend the town code, chapter 114, entitled Food Trucks. So moved.
Second.
Okay.
And I'm supposed to recuse myself from the vote.
I think you can just abstain from the vote, and that's.
I'm going to
as you-
abstain.
If we're just taking a vote, yeah, you can.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
you
not
abstain.
talks.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
just call for abstentions as well. All right. Discussion of the food truck law. There are some minor changes here.
If we're discussing it, then, sorry.
Sorry.
Councilmember Watson should step away.
Okay. Sorry about that. I just wanted to clarify that we had some small changes that we've made here, and we may want to come back and make more, but right now, we're, making some clarifications and simplifications, in particular to make it a little easier for food trucks to share a health license with another municipality, in other ways, try to make it a little less burdensome, so.
I wanted to clarify that there were a couple of very small edits made to 114-5 after the public hearing based on the information we got from the board and the public, which are in this red line version, but it's just slightly different than the one from the public hearing, but it's not, I don't believe, substantial
Not
enough to need
substantive.
to reopen the hearing.
Okay, all right, any further discussion?
Yes, so I, some of, the fire safety inspection, something, it's a state law passed 2020, that's one of the reasons we are trying to update our local code, right? It's one of the reasons updating this resolution to.
One of the things that, sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but one of the things that was identified as making it a little more difficult for people is that if they're operating in multiple municipalities, they need to get fire inspections from each municipality. And so one of the changes in here is to say that if we make an agreement with another municipality to have a reciprocal inspection, then someone could get inspected in the city of Poughkeepsie, for instance, and then come get a license here without having to get another fire inspection here. So yes, because the fire inspection is based on a statewide code, we're hoping that we can make that a little easier by accepting other communities' inspections.
Right. So one of the comments from constituent saying that the fire inspection, you can't meet the expectation what the state is asking, basically. So in other words, it's going to fail every time. That's why they are showing opposing. But say if we have a law or not locally, since it's a state law, it's automatically inherits, right?
That's not our choice.
Okay.
And I do think that we are on a steady basis inspecting them and passing them.
Yes.
And so are other municipalities. So they are passing fire inspections, these trucks.
If there's some issue, then maybe that could be brought to state representatives to see if that code could be changed, for certain types of trucks, for instance, I don't know, but.
I don't
yes,
know of any, we can ask, we might want to ask Bruce. Bruce is going to be very busy after this meeting. We could ask him whether how often they fail fire inspections.
They
and
don't,
what those
I
cases
know,
are,
because
but-
I license them, and then we need that piece. More of them pass than fail.
Well, because initially they had to make
Yeah, a few
corrections and
changes.
make changes
Right.
and
Yeah, because
update things.
it's a once a year, it's every year thing that I thought would maybe be able to be to 3, but that didn't work
But,
either.
you know, people are cooking with propane in the middle of large crowds. So there's the trade-off between making sure we're not being onerous and that we're making sure that.
I believe there
this
was
is
a
safe,
fire,
so.
and that's what created this in 2020, from what I know.
From what we heard last week, I think that further conversation about the food truck law does make sense, maybe some further revision.
Yeah.
But I think we ought to pass the
a
changes
good
that we
start,
made.
right.
And then we
Good
can,
start.
this is a start, and then we could revisit in the next season, before the next season. Okay.
So I have another question, maybe, when someone applying, one of the complaints was like, for example, the Vassar College, they want to have a food truck today and it's a weekend and they need to have a number of days before to get the permits and all.
I think, so the food trucks themselves should come in earlier in the year to get their license, because a lot of people ask for that list. So there's a separate permit that's needed on private property, and they would have to deal with zoning in order to get that. So I can't really speak to that question.
Yeah, and
but-
that actually should be on Marist College.
What do you mean?
To get the zoning permit.
I think it depends on, some places get it themselves and some places pass it on to the food
Yeah,
truck. I had a long conversation with Will from Vassar today, actually at 4 o'clock for an hour. And, it depends. I don't know because I don't know what they do down zoning, but it
But
doesn't.
that is one of the clarifications that we made after the hearing, based on your comment, Councilwoman Shershin, was to say that it could be either the property owner or the food truck that
Oh, yeah, because I
applies for
think
the
they were already doing that anyway.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just to clarify that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have licenses for the trucks themselves and permits for those folks who want to have them on private property.
Right.
So both might be something we want to
Unless they're
revisit.
involved in an event,
Yeah.
and then,
Right, if you're getting a community event with a food truck that's already wrapped into
Right,
the
so it's like
community
one,
event.
I was just telling Will this, and I'll just be really quick, sorry. That
This
if
is
you
a
had
lengthy
one food
project.
truck from zoning, it's $50, but if you wanted to do like a 4 festival for the students, a 4 food truck, it would be an event, and that would only be $50. So it'll,
So there's no charge for having an event with multiple food trucks?
Right.
No additional charge?
no additional charge.
Right, okay, all right, any other questions?
So passing this resolution today, but it means we can revisit the next meetings.
Anytime.
Okay, so to make it, one of the goals is make it, maybe it's possible using some technology like OpenGov and some software, making the other, seems to be other municipals doing automated, uploading the license from the county and fire inspection and kind of automate or make it cheaper. That's something I think we can study and try to see if anything feasible in.
There's a lot of things we can study.
Okay.
The town supervisor might vote that we leave just a few months to think about other things other than food trucks before we loop back. But we should loop back and think more about food trucks.
Yes.
All right. Thank
Okay? In addition to what we did tonight, okay? All right.
Could I ask that before we vote, we make the motion, since the person who's recused made the motion? I just don't
Yeah,
want that to
I'll-
be a.
That's
I'll
right.
go ahead and make the motion that we're looking to amend the Town Code, Chapter 114, entitled Food Trucks.
Second, thank you.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so, the resolution,
One
sorry.
abstain.
And do we have, yes, we had one person who was recusing themselves, right? So then we have a vote of 4 in favor, no opposed, and 1 person who is abstaining from the adoption of the resolution. All right, so the resolution carries. Okay, welcome back.
Okay, then, resolution 4. Resolution giving consent for the planning board to be the lead agency for the IBM Quantum Facility Project. So moved.
Second.
Okay, I just wanted to say that if you did watch the planning board, the last planning board meeting, they ask a lot of thoughtful questions to make sure that we're clear on things like, you know, how much energy use, water use, things of that sort. This is not a data center. This is not an AI data center. But I do trust that the planning board is going to do their careful due diligence in making sure that as 500,000 square feet gets built, that they're asking the right questions. So I trust them to do that. Anybody else?
Just for the clarification, I understand that instead of, delegating the planning board, instead of they have to come to the town board all the time, that to make it more efficient for this, that's why we are doing this, right? This delegating the planning board to handle, giving the authorization for them to, does it make sense?
So Mike Welty is on the call and may want to weigh in, I'm not sure, but I think
Yeah.
that, yes, Mike, did you want to speak?
Sure, I can. Yeah, I mean, in this case, the planning board has the bulk of the real approval authority. The use fits within zoning, so the town board may or may not have to make any decisions regarding this project. It might need to, for example, approve, an easement or something like that, at the end of the process. But the planning board in this case really is doing the bulk of the review under site plan review. And so it really does make sense for the planning board to be the lead agency and do the environmental review as part of that review process. I don't know if that clarifies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
There's
I
no
agree with that.
decisions the town board is not being asked to make a zoning change or anything, any decision that would be a policy change from the board.
Yeah, I mean, the
Thank
purpose
you.
of a coordinated review is to just have one environmental review, so the applicant doesn't have to do that with each board.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
more efficient,
Yeah,
all right,
great.
thank you.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, okay, any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, the resolution carries 5-0. Okay, resolution 5, we are setting a public hearing for a proposed local law to add chapter 52 entitled Affordable and Workforce Housing to the town code and to make related amendments to chapter 210 zoning. And we are setting that for the third day of June at 7 p.m. So on our meeting on June 3rd at 7 p.m., we will address this workforce housing. So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Setting the public hearing date? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 5-0.
Oh, it's me. Resolution number 6, we're going to authorize advertising for a full-time tax record clerk. And this would be at an hourly rate of $22.4838 to up to $25.2829 CSEA union rates. So moved.
Second.
Okay, and this is in light of an anticipated retirement, having some room for this person to begin and have a month to train, so that we make sure that the office's continuity, functions have continuity. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 5-0. You're next.
Okay, all right. Resolution 7, authorize supervisor to execute CSCA agreement relating to out-of-title pay for an acting deputy assessor. So moved.
Second.
Okay, it was a period when someone from the office was out on a medical leave, and someone stepped in, and so retroactively, we are authorizing deputy assessor pay, because she was in fact doing that job at the time. Okay, and thanks to everybody in the assessor's department, we've had, departure and medical leaves, and so really appreciate everybody for keeping things going. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 7-0. Sorry. Five, only five of us here, 5-0.
All right, resolution number 8 is to authorize the release of the traveler's bond number 107668451 pertaining to the Schaefer Road Park improvements. So moved.
Second.
Okay.
I'm missing it.
Hurrah, the Sheaf Road Playground is built, finally. And thank you to Jim Nelson and to everybody in legal who did a huge amount to get that to happen and to get our grant in the door so that the grant funds were received. It was a difficult project, but I think this is the final step. So, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 5-0.
Okay, resolution 9 is authorization of Germania's Mayfest, which is going to be May 15th, 16th, and 17th. And they're asking for a waiver of all permit fees. So moved.
Second.
Okay, and let me note that in the first be it resolved clause at the end of that line, it gives us a choice, right? In the past, we have waived fees for nonprofits. We've said that we're not gonna do that anymore, and so now is the crossing the Rubicon, right? Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does or does not waive all permit fees. So actually, the resolution leaves it open, so we need to determine which direction we're going to take based on the conversation. I think we've been talking for a while about just saying that we need to cover our costs no matter who's holding the event.
Earlier today, that's what we said.
Yeah, and also, I'd like to bring up too that I went on the Charities Bureau today and checked on their last financial reporting they did, which was in 2024. And they were showing in 2024 that they had net assets of $672,000. And that year they had a revenue of $395,000. So I think they can afford $150 fees to cover our costs to do the applications.
Duly noted, but if another nonprofit comes along and doesn't have that much in the bank, we're still gonna say that the town's costs are the town's cost, and if you're gonna have a event, we're trying to make those costs reasonable, we're not trying to, you know, but we do need to cover our own costs, so, but duly noted, okay?
I'm just saying it's not gonna be a hardship for them.
Okay. All right, any further conversation? I'm hearing so far that we want to say does not waive all permit fees, right? We approve the event, but we are not waiving permit fees.
Could this be like a warning for the last stuff? I'm just throwing that out there. Never mind.
We also are trying to save costs as, you know, duly noted, and I know it sounds like a teeny tiny bit, but if it's costing the town extra fees or extra hours for people working to inspect and do everything else, then that should be covered. So as we're trying to save money, we're also trying to not spend extra money that could be covered.
And again, as another option, you could always come up with maybe a nonprofit fee or something in the future, and then you could add it to the fees by resolution.
And if we chose to do that, we could.
If you chose to do
Right.
that, I mean,
But
just saying.
we think that our fees reflect costs, our costs, and so you could say that we in the past have been waiving fees, or you could say that we have been the town has been providing free services. And so we are charging a fair price for our services.
Right, we're
is the
just
goal.
making
Right?
back the price, correct?
That is correct.
Am I right? That
Yes, we're just covering our costs.
covering our
We're not
costs.
even
We're not
really covering
making a
all our costs,
profit.
but
We're not
we're
profiting from
trying to cover the basic costs, yeah, of doing that work and making sure everybody stays safe, so. Okay, any further discussion? We're passing this in the does not form?
Correct.
Okay. So then be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie approves the event but does not waive all permit fees. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 5-0. Okay, and now we have another one.
Is it me?
I think this is Ann's.
No, I just did the
Oh,
last
so
one.
it's me.
You did?
Again.
She did? No, I think, well, doesn't matter.
no.
I'll do the next one. I'll do this
you
one and
did
then
do
we'll
that.
start over. Okay. We'll authorize, all right, so we're authorizing the Holy Trinity Parish Spring Festival. So moved.
Second.
All right, and I move this in the form that we do not waive permit fees.
That seems fair.
Okay,
If we're
yep.
gonna say that the law has changed, the law has changed, and it applies to everybody.
It will apply the same. Excellent. All right, any discussion?
And do you know how much money they have?
No, they did not
We're not
check
asking,
them.
right? We're not looking into everybody's
No,
bank
no,
account.
we're
We're
not
just
checking
charging
our
them what we
churches,
need
no.
to charge, right? Okay, good. And we wish them great success with their spring festival and hope that it's a wonderful event and that the weather is great and that it goes wonderfully. We just need to help our payment to make sure we help it stay safe. All right? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 5-0. Okay, resolution 11.
That is some events right after the events.
Yes, more events.
There's a Day of Hope for the Mark Foundation, and that's being held at the Germania grounds on June 6th from 1 o'clock until 6 o'clock. And that is for a family that does that in honor of their son. And it's for, substance abuse, and it's a really nice event if anybody wants to attend that. And they have paid all their fees and they have their insurance. The next one is the Tilcon Clinton Point Community Day on Sunday, June 7th, and that's from 10:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. at Sheep Road. And I've seen flyers, that's gonna be great. Tilcon, it's 10:30 to 2 o'clock. They're gonna have a couple of food trucks there, and they're gonna have tours of the plant and a lot of things for children.
And you meet at the Sheep Road Park?
No, it's at Tilcon, on the Sheaf Road, that's their address.
Right.
Actually, at Tilcon.
Right.
461 Sheaf Road.
Yep.
It's on June 7th from 10:30 to 2. It's their community day, and I also publicly want to thank them for sponsoring some things on our community day. And then there's People USA, they're having a wellness event being held at 102 Fulton Avenue in their parking lot on Thursday, June 7th, it's Wednesday, actually. It's a Wednesday wellness event. And it's gonna be on Wednesday, June 17th, from 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock. And they did this last year as well. They have a lot of informational tables.
Yep, it's People USA, right? They have their offices there and they have community gardens and all kinds of good stuff going on. So great, wonderful.
And I have
Okay,
everybody's stuff.
thank you very much. And we've now clarified which events we need to vote on and which ones we don't, so this is all good,
Yeah.
right? Okay, excellent. All right, then, number 12. This is a motion, let's see, it goes back to Barb.
Okay. We are accepting March 4th, March 18th, and April 8th minutes for those board meetings. And thank you very much, Felicia.
You're welcome. Thank
So
Jessica,
moved.
because I'm teaching her how.
Oh, good. Thank you, Jessica. So moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you again for the minutes. All right, then before we move on to committee reports, we move on to the special consent resolutions. Let me do the first one here. Be it resolved that the town board does hereby grant special consent to the following items, to wit, first, intention to declare lead agency status for 1 Overrocker Road for the Police and Courts project. And the second is an agreement with Labella Re, pre-construction estimate for 1 Overrocker Road. Upon the objection of any member of the board, you can remove an item for the list and vote on it separately as to whether or not you're willing to consider it tonight. So moved.
Second.
Okay, are we willing to consider these items?
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, so these two items then are on the table. All right, I'm not sure where we were. Shanta, are you on the police seeker?
This is, this one, right?
It's an intent,
Resolution SC1.
Okay.
yep,
All right, town of, resolution, oh no, that's, AC1. Town of Poughkeepsie Town Board, Police Station and Town Court, seek resolution intent to declare lead agency status. So moved.
Second.
okay, so we need to fill this in to say that Councilperson Shanta Tangia moved this, and there's a dispute between whether it's Ann Shershen or Barb Laird, who both
I
said
put Ann
second.
Shershen.
Okay,
Thank you
Ann
so much.
Shershen seconded the motion and it was passed. All right, and this is the town board declaring its intent to serve as lead agency to conduct an environmental review.
I wanted to mention, I know that the parking spaces may be lower than the numbers that are in here. I spoke with Mike Welty, and we didn't want to change things throughout these documents at the last minute, but it may end up being lower, and that will be fine.
Yeah, they're well along with some of the aspects of this review. The traffic has gone well. I think we're nearly done on that. They hiked the hillside here, and I'm really happy to report that there were no aquatic turtles living on the woodland, that is the highly steep woodland. We didn't think there were any aquatic turtles, but we had to walk it and check. There are bats, but that's the case of all woodlands anywhere in the area, so when we cut trees, we're gonna have to cut them between October and March, because you can't cut during bat season, bat nesting season, but otherwise, we're clear on that, so the work is moving along. We are still discussing the number of parking spaces. It will be less. I think, we're in a discussion with them about how much less. We have also had some really productive meetings, and I just wanted to say, Chief Cavalier Chair, I just wanted to say thank you to both the police and courts. We had a meeting last week in which we were able to find some additional cuts, additional storage space that we could trim down, courtroom size. We cut out an elevator, which was huge, and we have done some, we are also still working on parking spaces. So we're gonna make sure that Rodriguez isn't doing the updated cost estimate until we're sure we've got things, as close as we can to what it's actually gonna look like. What the costs are gonna look like. And that's partly why we need the new study, is we don't wanna move forward without knowing that. But the seeker seems to be going very well so far, and Labella has been really very prompt and responsive, so. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution carries 5-0.
All right, so
Okay.
I think it's my
Yep.
turn. All right. So resolution, SC2, authorizing the supervisor to execute a change order to confirm estimated construction costs prior to bond resolution. And this is what we were talking about before, that you, the change here in the cost. So moved.
Second.
Yep. I wouldn't call it a change order because we are updating, we're doing an additional, cost estimate. But we do need to do this. We've determined, the board can discuss tonight, maybe we don't think we need a new cost estimate. We could simply use the number that we had from the original cost estimate with the feasibility study that was done with the, that accompanied the feasibility study. But there have been a considerable number of changes, and the project is much further along in terms of clarity. And so we have some ARPA funds. This is our last year to spend them. And my recommendation would be that we do get another cost estimate, because before we bond, we want to be as close as possible. This is the biggest project that the town's going to undertake in quite some time, or has undertaken in some time.
So we want the crystal clear number.
Exactly, we want to be as close as we can get. So they're able to do it for less than they would ordinarily, but because they did the prior one, this is essentially an update. But if you go back to the feasibility study, you'll see it includes a very detailed list of each component of the project, what it's going to cost, so that we have a clear sense of exactly what we're paying for. And I think doing that now would be wise, so.
Seems very transparent.
I hope so.
Because this will save us money in the long run, is what you're saying.
It will make sure that we're not over bonding or under bonding. It'll make sure that when we move to a bond resolution, that we're as close as possible to the right number, and that we're also as clear as we can be before we start as to what the costs of the project are gonna be.
What happens if you overbond a lot? Is that because you're saying I might use this much money, but when you actually use the amount of money, that difference, does that also incur a fee?
I have learned so much about this in the last few months, and I have a whole lot more to learn. The bond resolution simply authorizes the town to bond X amount of money, but it's not the bonding itself. And we won't bond for this project until the moment that we actually start needing to pay someone.
Okay.
So at that point, you have an opportunity to bond less. To actually borrow less money.
And
Right.
usually
So-
what you do, sorry.
Go ahead.
Usually what you do is you do bond anticipation notes, so during the construction, you're borrowing a little at a time, and then when you actually are finished and you know the total, then you go to the long-term bond for only the actual amount.
Yeah, one of the things I learned recently that was very exciting is that you can carry forward short-term bond anticipation notes for as much as 4 years. So you can roll forward short-term loans, short-term funding for a project until you've basically got the whole thing done. And then you can do long-term bonding for only exactly what you spent. The big danger is if you pass a bond resolution for not enough, and then you have to go back, then you do incur costs if you have to bond a second time and go, oh my gosh, we thought this X was gonna cost 10 million, and it's actually gonna cost 12 million, we have to go borrow 2 million more, then you incur a whole bunch of legal and bonding costs from having to do it a second time, which is why everybody sort of passes a bond resolution for a comfortable amount more than we think we're actually gonna need.
And so is this additional study in hopes that we don't underbond?
It's in hopes that we don't underbond or overbond.
Okay.
It also gives us an opportunity to look at the cost of the project, and we can have more conversation with Labella about this at the next stage. But if we feel that the costs are high, there are some measures they can take to provide bid alternatives, and sort of say, well, depending on how the bids come out, we could do this. But if the bids are all too high, we could do that. So there's some measures we can take to sort of mitigate costs or consider how we want to approach it. And I think it would be helpful for us to have the best possible number in order to have that conversation before we pass the bond resolution. It seems it's difficult to get it exactly right. A little bit bonding, passing a bond resolution a little too much is much better than having it be too little.
Too little.
So, with that, and it would give us a number in about a month. So around mid-June, we would have an estimate. Everybody good?
Yes.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The resolution carries 5-0. Terrific. Okay, we have committee reports. A lot of the things I was gonna mention as town supervisor, we already discussed. Thank you to everybody and all the departments who came out for Community Day and helped make that happen. Recreation, town police, sewer, highway were there. We had a good crowd, and thank you to the Benny Havens Band, which gave a great performance. I wanted to just report that, and also to thank you, as Felicia said, thank you to Tilcon for giving treats for veterans and for moms. A reminder that applications for the Ward 1 position are open till May 15th, letters of interest. Then we are in the midst of capital planning. The comptroller and the human resources officer are at the New York Association of Towns training for the next 3 days. But I wanted to just report that we are talking with departments and that we're going to be sending to the Finance Committee shortly a list of proposed capital projects to begin to sort out the timing on those and the spacing over a period of time. Just a quick note that I went to the Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors Association last night. We had a really helpful conversation about the Dutchess County Transportation Council, and they also brought materials on Sunday. Anyone who has not completed their transportation survey on the moving forward plan, it's a really great survey in trying to help set transportation directions for the future. Town Hall, we closed on the Poughkeepsie Day School building on, I think, April the 23rd. They are leasing back until July 1st. We are tackling roof estimates on Friday to get more clarity from Tremco about the roof. And we are also going to be coming to the board on May 20th, in addition, with information about, with a proposal that Tinkelman Architects do the interior renovation, the work with us on the interior renovation over the next couple of months. We're going to move that project along quickly, but we have to get some of those classrooms renovated so that this will be a comfortable town hall. And I think we already talked a good deal about the police and courts project and where that is. We did also get initial renderings, and there are some here at Town Hall for people who may want to take a look. But we are still making some changes. But again, about the time we get a cost estimate from Rodriguez, we should also have final, more or less final renderings. So much is going on. Finance Committee.
As you said, we're waiting for the new update on the capital planning. And I know that CFAC met last week, was it, Steve, or the week before that? And I was unable to attend as I've been sick. But I would like to get the Finance Committee back together this coming week to see if we need to check in on CFAC and any of their new proposals.
Okay. Ryan Sharp being absent tonight, we go right back to you or to Shanta for joint water plant.
You want me to take that one, Shanta?
Sure. The joint water plant, we are doing a comprehensive, in a comprehensive study. It cost approximately $500,000. We have to split the cost between the town and the city. So they awarded the contract for studying, do the study based on, we have a cap to 250 to start, and then they will come present to the committee as we move, use up to $500,000 study, but we are trying to see all the aspects of how to, going forward, what do we need to do. That's the main subject we are working on.
Can I just say that the engineering committee that was awarded this, negotiation is Hazen and Sawyer. And they were very forward-thinking, and they didn't have the answer. I mean, I talked to Tommy, and he said that they were very excited because they seem to be very good at it and willing to take the whole, it's a very big issue that they have to figure out. Do we have enough water for the next 10 years? And what are we gonna do if we don't have enough water in the next 10 years? So,
Wow. Yeah, big questions. Yeah. Okay, I'll give a quick Tri-Muni update. We have a challenge, which is that, there is a DEC, the DEC is concerned about, periodic flooding of the plant during large rain events, which is causing raw sewage to go into the Hudson. This is the problem with many sewage plants up and down the Hudson. The issue is essentially I&I infiltration and inflow, which comes from, often people having their sump pumps and roof drains connected to the sewer system. So for everybody, please check and make sure that when your house was built, somebody didn't connect the downflows. They should go out into the yard, or we should find other ways to get them into the stormwater drainage system, but not into the sanitary sewer system. So the DEC is stating that there's a large fine that Tri-Muni will have to pay for these violations unless the fine can be very substantially reduced if the village of Wappingers Falls, the town of Poughkeepsie, the town of Wappinger, which are the three tenants, the three municipalities that make use of the system, and the plant itself will do studies and make a plan for how they're going to reduce the inflow and infiltration, the I&I, over time. The town of Poughkeepsie, we already passed a resolution affirming that we would be willing to do those studies. Andy Learn, our engineer with CPL, has been fantastic in working with us on this project. The village of Wappingers Falls has indicated the same. The plant has indicated the same, the board of the Tri-Municipal Commission. The town of Wappingers is stating that they don't need to do it, or they don't want to do it, or that all the problems lie with the plant itself, and that the town shouldn't need to do anything. So we've been in discussions about this for months. We're still stuck. Bill Reuter, who's remains the head of the Tri-Muni Commission, has been extremely helpful in trying to bring things forward. We are still trying to find a resolution. We're still stuck. So as of now, we had a conversation directly with DEC last week, and things remain still unresolved. The complicating factor is that the village of Wappingers Falls and the town of Poughkeepsie are co-owners of the plant. The town of Wappinger is a tenant on the system. So it's not like three owners deciding what to do. It's like two owners and a renter. But under these circumstances, we're providing sewer services, right? So it's essential public. It's an essential public function. So I will report later, hoping to we'll try to find some resolutions, but we're right now a little bit stuck. Anybody have liaison reports? Anything else people wanted to add from historic preservation? We heard already about that, and the CAC, we've worked on a couple of grant applications with the CAC in the last month. I appreciate their leadership on that.
I was just gonna announce that, on June 17th here, 1 hour before the June 17th board meeting, that for CAC, The Bard College is gonna have a professor and a couple people here to give a presentation on air quality in the Hudson Valley. So that's gonna be June 17th, 6 PM. Our next meeting is May 18th at 5:30 here in this room. And don't forget, No Mo May. It's hard for me to say that, but the CAC was very good at bringing forward No Mo May. And I did see on Alexander Boulevard, the town must have come by and mowed a little bit, but they left a whole bunch of dandelions and a whole bunch of heel all and dead nettles. So there was lots of flowers on one side and then just mowed closer to the corner. So I thank Mike Welty and his team for leaving as many flowers as possible.
I think it's actually, we passed it as no and low mow May.
Yes,
Just to make it
low
even
mow.
more
Yeah,
complicated.
you can still mow, but
Okay.
just try to mow around the dandelions.
Okay. Excellent. We'll keep trying to get the word out on that.
And the only other thing too is you're going to talk at the senior center,
May 14th.
May 14th.
That's right, that's before the next board meeting, right? So yes, I am gonna give a talk at the senior center on May 14th. Anne might come and join me.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
For, coffee and, for the lunch and learn about the town hall and police and courts projects and how those are going forward.
At
Thanks.
noon? Are you gonna do that at
I
12?
think that the talk is at 11 usually.
11?
And then lunch is at noon.
I thought the talk was at noon and
Okay.
lunch is at 1.
We're gonna go
I'm not
find out.
sure.
I will put it in the
I know
supervisor's
it.
e-newsletter.
There's a flyer out there and I walk by it every day.
Yep.
So,
I'll check and make sure. I thought lunch was at noon, but we'll go find out,
I
okay?
think the flyer says noon.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
Everybody else thinks noon, so that's probably when I should be there, so we'll make it work. Okay, anything else?
The Climate Smart Task Force, they really worked hard in submitting, applying for the silver certification. That's, right now, that's what they're working on. And the next, the Brownfield, the Kmart project, Mike Welty is still here?
Yes.
Yes. So the last thing I know, we were working on the contracting, Collier, right?
That's gonna come to the board on the next meeting.
Right.
So that'll be on the May 20th meeting, we're all set with we should be all set with Colliers.
All right, sounds good. That's all the other two, subcommittees I had.
Anything else? Okay, I think that might be it for tonight then. I would, move that we suspend the rules, to open the floor for public comment on any item, any issue that anyone might want to discuss with the town board. We'll start with folks who are in the room. Whoops, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, then the floor is open. Steve, welcome. And then we'll move to folks online.
Couple things, actually, the CFAC, actually, I get out tonight, tomorrow, we actually were gonna reach out to see the status of the capital project planning, and to see where it is. Our next meeting is next Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday?
This coming Tuesday.
Okay.
So, I will send out the email just asking the status.
Did you want me there as,
What, do you
Finance?
just wanna give a status, or?
Okay.
You wanna, again, it's open to the public? Yeah, just to see, the work, is it working what we suggested, or
Yep.
what tweaks may be needed? I know it's still a learning process. The other, couple other things, on the Poughkeepsie Day School condition study that was done, the workshop, I heard the study was done, when is that gonna be released?
I thought it was released. Let me go and check.
I didn't see it on the website, maybe I missed it.
Okay. It went through a bunch of iterations. I'll go and check.
The other question is on the AFR that was due April 30th. Town of Poughkeepsie did not file, at least it wasn't as of yesterday on
Yep.
site. Is there anticipated when that's gonna be done?
Yeah, so the state in its infinite wisdom wants you to file the annual financial report before you're finished the audit. And then you have to go back and refile after the audit is done. So the town, since apparently time immemorial, has always done the AFR late. We're starting the audit this month, I believe, on like the 18th of May, she's starting the audit. And I know that we will, I suspect that what we will do is file the AFR when we have completed the audit and we know that the numbers we're filing are correct. But the comptroller's away, but I will check and see.
Yeah, I guess I find it hard to believe that the town of Poughkeepsie can't get it done when 15 of the other 20 towns in Dutchess County have filed on time, including Dutchess County. They don't wait for the final audit, those are ongoing. Again, 75% of the towns seem to be able to get it done. Why can't the town? It's concerned.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe then we move online. Doreen, welcome.
Thank you. Is there any update on the Spackenkill pump station? I know that the work has been stopped there for about 2 weeks because there were some concerns. Do you know anything about that?
I know that we've been working on it, and I know there was some movement today, and I haven't had a chance to check back with Andy again, but we're aware of the problem. We talked about it at the department heads meeting yesterday, and they're working very hard to get the work started again. They ran into a problem that involved hitting rock, and that's all that I know. But I know they're trying to figure out what to do about it.
Okay, and then, thank you. My other question was about, is there any update on any issues with the DOT as far as the light at the intersection of Boardman and Spackenkill Road? Have any changes been made to it or any planned changes in the works?
Conversation's ongoing. I think we have a meeting with DOT next week or the beginning of the following week. So we're working on it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, I move that we return to regular session.
Second?
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. If there's no other business, then I would move that we adjourn at 8:36 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you so much and have a good night.